We had a request from Kirk Meckham, alias Duke Gotcham, alias the Duke, alias the Gooch, alias Kirkus erecticus. This is the General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark. It's called the Aardvark because it has this, got that nickname, it has this really long nose cone. And there were a number of innovations in this airplane. One of them was in that nose cone. They put a forward-aimed terrain following radar system in it. Now that's a pretty normal thing in larger airplanes now, like our airliners and stuff. But this was the first plane to have it, and what it could do is in bad weather or in clouds or at night, the plane could see the terrain in front of it and the pilots could fly lower or closer to the ground. Another innovation they have with this plane was one of two things that made it go very fast. And that was, it was the first production plane to have afterburners. And afterburners, I guess, you've got the normal turbofan engine in there, and then they just inject behind that, they inject fuel to give a more of a blast out the back. And that gets the plane up to, puts a lot more power to it. It also uses up a lot of fuel. So they're actually trying to build planes now that have that effect, but don't use that much fuel. And then the third thing this plane had that was innovative, and this is probably its greatest innovation to military avionics, is aviation, is yet at slow speeds, it would take off with these wings. If it was refueling, the wings were like this. But then as the plane got closer and closer to the speed of sound, the wings folded back in and it became a delta wing design. And this was the first plane to do this. The B-1 famously did it. We all saw Tom Cruise in his F-14. It did it. But this was the first plane designed in the 60s to do that. The plane could carry nuclear weapon, or it could carry a whole bunch with the wings out. It could carry a whole bunch of bombs that, smaller bombs that it could drop. They also had the ability to put a gun on it, but no one ever used it for that. But it was very fast, Mach 2.5 or something, so like 1,600 miles per hour. So extremely fast, 3 times the speed of a modern airliner. 2-man crew, they sat side by side, and plane most famous, the most famous use of the plane was probably in, I think, 1986. We bombed Libya after they blew up a disco in Berlin. And I think this was the main plane used in that operation. It's now retired, and I think a version of the F-15 is doing most of the work that this plane did before. So the most difficult thing in the build was definitely these wings that had to fold straight back into the rear ailerons. Also the ailerons, they pivot as they should, and that's difficult to do with the fold in. So that's it, F-111 Aardvark.
Good job, Boo.
Thank you, Boo.
Beautiful orchid.